Are you tired of working on your car in the heat? Well, so am I, because it's 94 degrees here in Texas, which is why the dream garage is finally getting AC. Okay, ignore the mess. I feel like I never opened up these two garage doors at once, and I honestly don't know why, because it's such an awesome view. Like, this place looks so much bigger than I thought. In reality, the AC units have been taking up a lot more space because I've been putting off doing them. But as soon as all these boxes get cleared out, there's gonna be a space for like 2 more cars, which is crazy to think about. Now, I've said this before, the reason why there haven't been a lot of dream garage videos is because this whole process is getting a bit more expensive than I thought. Whether it be termites, AC going out, roof leaks, or a hurricane coming through and tipping over an entire tree over my gate. Which is why I'm extra thankful to MRCOOL for sponsoring this video. They have provided us plenty of AC units in order to cool down this entire space. And this garage is no joke, it is huge. It's a 30-foot by 90-foot building, so it's a lot of space to cool down. And MRCOOL provides a DIY alternative that is way more affordable than any of the AC units. Whether you have a home garage, a home gym, or a metal building like how I do, mini splits are gonna be your best friend, and these units are super DIY friendly. Now you may be wondering, Annie, you already have mini split. Why do you need more? And that's because that unit is actually A, broken, and B, way too small for this whole space. This is an 8,000 BTU unit. That is way too small. I think that's supposed to be for like 400 square feet. And I almost have 4,000 square feet. So one day it finally gave out and it started spewing water everywhere, and then it broke all the drywall, which RIP because I put that up. So there goes all the hard work. But hey, it's a learning moment. This entire process has made me learn a whole lot more about AC units. A lot more than I would have ever thought I would have known. So like I said before, MRCOOL had sponsored us 3 units. One dual setup, which is a 48,000 BTU unit, which is split into 2 24K units. That one is a multi-zone, and then we also have a 36K BTU unit. That one is going upstairs. So when I finish renovating the upstairs, that area will also be cooled down. And the upstairs section is going to be like a gaming area for my friends and I. Gonna have the racing setup, a podcast setup. We're gonna host LAN parties. So this is the multi-zone 2 24K units. And that is the 36K unit. Each of the boxes have this QR code that you scan, and there's instructions. And a bunch of my friends have already installed these units, and they told me that it's super easy to do, but you're gonna need some help. And I don't have any help. So this part of the unit is the part that cools down. All you have to do is put the template up to the wall, drill it, and then push the unit through. So one 24K unit is going to be replacing that 8,000 BTU unit, and another one's gonna be installed right over here. That way the entire car space area should be cooled down. And this 36K unit is going on the 2nd floor all the way in the back side of the garage. The thing about mini splits is also way more affordable than actual AC units, so it's not only cost friendly to install it, but also to just maintain cooling. It also does help that my walls are double insulated with both spray foam, which you see on the ceiling, and double pink insulation. So over on the back wall here, you can see the other side of the unit. Now you put them on hangers because they tend to get stolen, and notice that box is a lot smaller than the one that we're gonna be installing, so we're gonna have to put bigger hangers. We also have to get thicker copper wiring because it is a bigger unit, and these 2 units over here are actually for the mini splits for the offices, which are working perfectly fine, so I'm not gonna touch those. There's also this standalone unit, which is a 9,000 BTU unit. That cools down the shed, and the funny part is that unit is actually bigger than the one that we're replacing, which only goes to show just how small that unit is for the back. Oh my god, I just walked through a spider web. Which goes to show just how small that unit is for the space that we have. Now, if you're DIYing this yourself, you are gonna have to call an electrician to wire in some 230 volts, and because of how heavy these units are, you definitely will need a set of hands. This is the 36K unit, and it has everything that comes with a kit, which is basically everything that you're gonna need, and it costs around 3.8K. And what I really like about these units is that you can actually control it from your phone. The 2-zone 48,000 BTU unit, which is the 224K, goes for around 5.7. Now, I found a guy that will install this for $3,000 because, again, I don't have anyone helping me do this. It's already filled with Freon, and they're gonna be taking care of all the electronics. So if you count the cost of the units and you count the cost of the installation, it'll come out to around $11,000. But that's to cool down this entire open space as well as the entire up there. This is the welding and fabrication room. Like again, the office spaces are already cooled down with these mini splits. One here and one in this room, which will be for storing my car parts. And the kits come with everything you need, including the instructions and all the hardware. And it's super organized. And it comes with the proper cables. All right, fast forward to install day. The AC guys have arrived. If you're living in Houston, Texas, and you don't feel like getting quotes from 17 different companies, I recommend the company that I went with. It's called The AC Man. They had great pricing and the guys are really cool. Now they've already gone ahead and installed the new unit. This is the old unit, and it honestly doesn't look too bad in condition. This is the unit that sits on the opposite side of the wall. You can tell it's a whole lot bigger than the previous unit. This is 24K, the other one is an 8,000. Now the original plan was to put the outside units on hangers just like how they're previously mounted. But not only did I forget to buy the hangers, but it'd actually be easier if we put a concrete pad at the bottom and then bolt the units onto them. Especially because I did have plans to extend the concrete around the building anyways in the future. He also did mention that the Freon is actually built into the units and you just release it. So with the unit that I already had installed, they pulled it off and then put on a new bracket since the brackets are not universal, and then slid all the hosing and wiring through the hole since it did have already a pre-drilled hole from the previous unit. MRCOOL also sent us this toolbox and this hole saw. So these are very useful, and you are gonna need a hole saw in order to drill the hole for the hosing to go through. Alright, so all the units are officially in, so let me run you down the process of how it gets installed. Now you start with the template that's provided for you. You go ahead and mark the wall, make sure that all of it is on studs. So your copper wire is going to go through there, your drain line. You're also going to be installing a metal bracket that's going to sit onto the studs. That's what this mounts onto. Now the cool part about these units is that it's actually Wi-Fi activated. You go ahead and lift this up and it comes with this little USB flash drive that plugs into the USB port right over there. That way you can go ahead and control it from the app and you always know what temperature it is from your phone. So we have the 124K unit, which just replaced the old 8000 BTU unit. I originally was going to put it up higher, but that's going to cost way more money. And the other unit is over up here. That's the other 24K unit, which is perfect because you can actually adjust where it points to, so it'll go perfectly to the lift area. And these units blow tons of air. Like you still feel it all the way from the lift, even though it's kind of far from it. They come with these remotes, just how you turn it on and adjust all the settings. Now let's go over to the other side and give you the rest of the rundown. We have both the units. I originally was gonna mount it up higher, but we decided that because they're so heavy, so we decided to go with this concrete pad, but it's not a full concrete pad. It's a concrete pad sitting on 2 bricks. It actually has styrofoam on the inside and a concrete layer on the outside, and there's 2 metal straps holding down the unit to the concrete pad. Now they did elevate the ground a little bit so that it's not falling over because it is slightly inclined. I'm also in a flood zone, that's why this concrete pad is elevated. So up there is where they drilled the hole, because this unit is a lot higher than that one, that's why that is lower. So they pushed the copper wiring and the drain line through that hole and then routed it all the way down, and this is where everything will hook up to. We've got the wiring, the electrical, and this is where the Freon gets pumped into. There's also this clear fitting, which is your drain line, so this is where the water comes out of, and these units actually really push out a tons of water. Now I did went with a 25-foot line, which is the extra long line, because I knew that it was going to be way higher than the actual unit itself. And while we didn't need all 25 feet, that's why all this is actually rolled up in the back here. It was very nice to have. I got a 10x2 exterior grade wiring, which I just picked up from Home Depot. You do need a 230 volt in order to hook up these units. So the wiring is actually going all the way from the breaker box, which is inside. They wired it all the way up to the second floor, all the way out, along the gutter and down this one, and then over to the first unit and then over to the second unit. They did an amazing job hiding all the wiring, which I really appreciate, so the side of the building looks way, way nicer. They also had a metal building specialist with them, which was really awesome to see. He knows how to weld, and he'll be there to make sure that there's no leaks, because metal buildings tend to leak a lot, and it's very, very easy, so you have to make sure you plug all the holes properly. That way it blends perfectly into the building. This came out so nice, guys. Like, it looks so good. I am absolutely happy with the way it came out. Let's go ahead and check out the back unit, which is for the 36K unit. Now this is the 36K unit, which is going up to the upstairs area. And even though I did have an outlet that it can plug into right in the back here, because the old owners had a air compressor sitting out in the back, which gets wired to their CNC machine, I decided to leave it alone since they already put the outlet and made everything set up for an air compressor to be put back here. I'm gonna end up putting my air compressor there as well. That way you don't hear any of the noise. They were really smart and proud in doing that, so I'm gonna leave their system the way it was. So they ended up having to wire this unit as well since I didn't want to use that outlet. So the way they have it sitting along the shed is perfect for me because I'm never really gonna go in this area regardless. There is also this drain line over here which is gonna pump all the water out, and they did tell me that is gonna build a bunch of algae back here, so that is just something that I'm gonna have to be aware of. And I did go ahead and turn on the units, and they are working phenomenally. Not only are they working great, but they look great, and it's doing a fantabulous job at cooling down the garage. Like, I'm actually shocked. It is performing way better than I expected. In the next Dream Garage video, I am gonna give you guys an update of how much all the electricity bills are adding up to be, because we are adding 3 different AC units into the system, so definitely the electricity bill is gonna go up. But it is a mini split unit, so it should be pretty cost effective. Not only is it cheaper to install, but it's cheaper for the units, and it's cheaper monthly cost because it is way more cost effective to have mini splits rather than AC. And that's because the lines are already pressurized when they come, so you don't have to technically pull vacuum. But that is a very big thing, especially for everyone that is doing these at home, and they're already filled with Freon. Y'all seriously do not understand just how insane that having ACs in addition to this Dream Garage build is going to be, because I'm so much more inclined to finish all of the builds like the Miata that's been sitting there for however long at this point. Yeah, I can't really open the garage doors as much as I'd like now because I don't want the air to come out, but honestly, that's the price you take for having AC in the garage. It's so cool. Now for the entire install cost, it came out to $2,635. That is not only just for $600 a pop for each unit, but also for the wiring and all the material for the wiring and for the concrete pads. That is a really, really, really good price, so I definitely recommend you go with them if you're in the Houston area. So it's currently 5:30 and peak heat. We're gonna go ahead and turn on all 3 units and see how long it takes for the garage to cool down. And we got the one upstairs as well. The upstairs one is mounted to plywood because I am going to be finishing off these walls soon enough. So temporarily I want this unit installed, so I had it mounted to plywood. That's a 64 right now. Let's go ahead and bring it a little bit higher. 70 is pretty solid. It's currently 96 outside, by the way. I literally cannot begin to state just how good this feels. AC, especially up here, because I've been working trying to get all the merchandise. We do have merch, by the way. Please hit up exmgarage.com. Get some hoodies, some air fresheners, some stickers, and now I can actually fulfill your orders in AC. By the way, I am the one fulfilling all the orders, so if you get anything off of exmgarage.com, I'll be the one writing you guys little letters. It is currently 104 degrees in the garage and 36% humidity, so let's see how cold we can get in here. All right, so I'm currently trying to set up the Wi-Fi on that unit. So what I had to do was press this LED button 7 times in 1 minute so that it turns off and it turns into a Wi-Fi access point. And that way it comes up as Wi-Fi under the instructions finally, because for some reason it wouldn't work any other way for me. And now it's currently linking up. And just like that, we have the first unit installed. So garage lower car space, it's currently 95 degrees. So it is off since we were in access point mode, so we're gonna go ahead and power it on and set it to 70. This app is really cool because you can choose the cool to heat, the fan speed, as well as the positioning of the fans itself. You can also go ahead and start a schedule, so if you're coming back from work and you want to turn the AC on, you can literally set it to that. There's also a way to be more economical. You can add Siri shortcuts or connect to your Alexa. The air filter shows you just how much of it is used up and when you need to change it. Now the guy did recommend to change it every 1 to 2 months. But the way to clean it is super easy. You just lift this top part out and take that filter and just wash it under the sink. You can also put on vacation mode if you plan on leaving, and geofencing as well. So if it senses that you've arrived at home, it'll go ahead and turn the unit on for you, which is insane to think about. So I can set it to be if I'm in within the 10 miles, it'll turn on. Like, there's just so many settings within the app. But so far, guys, I've been chilling in the garage while it's been cooling down, and it's been so nice. Like, the AC is pointed to me. I'm chilling in the chair. I could be working on a car right now, though. I should be working on a car right now. And big thanks to MrCOOL for providing all the units. Like, this is going to be tremendous help for all the videos to come. I'm so much more inclined to film way longer in the garage now. I don't just go in and start sweating instantly and start to have a lunch break. Because we now have AC units, there's gonna be a ton of more videos to come, ton more installs specifically, which I have been so excited to do, because before I was just dreading doing it because it's just so hot in the garage. Like, to the point where literally you can't breathe because there's so much humidity. And big thank you to you guys for supporting this channel, because we would not be here without you guys. If there's anything that you guys think of that we should add to the dream garage, please let me know in the comments. That's gonna be so awesome if we could all build this together, really. My garage is su garage. And of course, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out, car family.